Courage to conquer, you know how it is. It's 24 hours a day, that's how I live. Gotta get the courage to conquer. Face your fears, Build my empire, that's the goal. Building that wealth, I'ma get that dough. Hustling hard every day, I'm a ball in my pain. I don't care what you got to say, but you ain't got the courage to conquer. Courage to conquer. Courage to conquer. Courage to conquer.
Hey, what's up, my fellow conquerors? Welcome to the Courage to Conquer podcast. My lovely wife, Laura Himes here, Earl Himes, the Conquering Couple. And we talk about a lot of things. We have our businesses that we do. So we're going to talk about business today on what it's like to run the business on different roles.
As a couple.
But then, as the woman's side, the man's side, and how our team views us differently. Sometimes that comes out.
Next time we're
how we treat people and all that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today to get you more of an insight on how our business is ran and how we're looked at differently in different roles that we do.
Absolutely.
That's what that's about. So
we both own the business together.
Yes.
But we kind of use the word stay in your lane.
Yes, stay in your lane is
we have
definitely
created that for each other.
Definitely a thing.
It's a thing that we'll joke around with, like, stay in your lane, that's not your part.
Right.
But it really took us starting the business, and we were both trying to do the same thing, and we were like bumping heads, I think, for a minute on some stuff. And we really did. We had to sit down and go, okay, what's my strengths? What's your strengths?
Right. Well, you mentioned staying in the lane, and that's kind of definitely what we try to do better off for sure nowadays.
Make sure to
that's
say
the
that.
biggest thing is definitely stay in your lane. Because we get asked all the time to be doing something that we know that's not my spot, or we'll put our nose in. We will put our nose in the other lane, giving that advice when it's not their lane either. So that tends to happen.
So tell me, I do have a question about this because this happens a lot, and we all kind of joke around the office about it. The one thing the guys do to you constantly. And now you're getting, just in the last few weeks, you're really working on not answering these questions. To the guys. So the guys will always.
Well, it's one of those things when you try to get the easiest answer you can. If somebody's not going to give it to you, well, you go to the next person. Well, a lot of times the guys, they'll be asking me, hey, about money, for instance, checks.
Yeah.
That's been the thing.
When's the check
and so I'll try to answer the question for the ladies because I know they're busy in the office, but that burns me in the butt every time. My ass definitely gets reamed for it. So now that, hey, you got to call the office, call Charity. You got to talk to her,
Because we pay our guys twice a month. So we pay between the 1st and the 5th and the 15th and the 20th. So everything done by the 1st gets cut off and they get paid the 15th and 20th. And it all depends on when deposits come in, when things are dropped, and then we start cutting checks. Because there's when you have 40 guys you're trying to cut checks for, plus your office staff.
You have cutoff dates.
Yeah, you have cutoff dates. And it has to be completed. Like, we do require them to upload photos, before and after pictures in there. And that way we can walk the jobs. And that's why we used to pay weekly. We used to pay every week, every Friday it ended, you got paid the next Friday. But we have grown so much and we're so much larger, we can't possibly make it to all the jobs. And what was happening is we were double paying, or we're paying on jobs we were told was done and the pictures looked like it was done. Then we'd show up and things weren't really done.
Correct.
And then trying to get a contractor to go back after you've already paid them. Then they're like, oh no, that already got approved because I got paid and somebody came in and broke that or did that or something. So we kind of changed that. So I think when they go to us, they don't like the answers. So they always go to you about pay. Like, hey, can I get more money on this? Or can I get certain things? They'll go to you about,
Oh, they try to,
yeah.
Sure. Yeah, because and we try to figure this out to where there is I don't know, pecking order, whatever you want to call it, on who to call. But sometimes if we're dealing with certain jobs, well, they just naturally know, just like if I'm handling the ones in Norman, for instance.
Yeah.
They go, okay, that's who I'm talking to, so that's who they happen to talk to. Because her, same way. You got,
I have my own
you have guys
remodels.
and stuff
Yeah.
you have to deal with, and so you're talking to them, so they just naturally just start asking you the question.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're going, why are they calling me? Because, I have no idea why.
This isn't my property. This is
They're
Earl's.
calling me, so what, so they'll call Charity. So I'm getting better. Hey, call the office. They know, I don't know.
Yeah. When do you think we started? What do you think, or Earl, I really ask you, how long ago in your mind did we start doing, remember when we sat down and you said, okay, and I think we started with, you just looked at me and said, okay, what do you want to do in the business? Just tell me what I'm going to do. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then you got aggravated with me one day and you're like, just tell me what you want to do and just tell me what I'm doing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And then we started looking at it and going, okay, to move forward and to grow, because we have other people that we know that own businesses that flat out said, I will not work with my wife or I will not work with my husband. There's no way.
They'll get that.
And,
That's a
and
question
it
we
wasn't
get all
always
the time.
easy for us.
Question
And there's
we get
still
all the
times
time
it's
on
not.
that.
There's still times that we're like, okay, we gotta regroup. Let me breathe for a minute. You know, we still joke about it like, oh my gosh, I want to choke you out. But, you know, but then we go back but our goal for the company is the same. Our
Yeah.
vision where we're going is the same. So that's the most important thing, is we're still focused on where we want to be.
Well, so sometimes the vision
doing it a little bit
is, it's kind of the same, but definitely how we want to integrate it.
Yes.
Integrator is a little bit differently, because I'm thinking we're going this route and you want to go this other route, and
Yeah.
and so that's where sometimes
Maybe
it
you
gets a
communicate
little
better on that.
there. But that's what I like that you do what you do, because your tenacity and how you do things. You have to be a hard ass. You make sure things get done. Therefore, that's why I like it. So that's why I delegate things down to you, because you go take care of it where I ain't got to.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna work on something else over here.
Earl
That
is the
I'm gonna
visionary.
go get this over here picked up and this done, because you can jump on that over there and delegate them down
And I
like
have
they
to
need
say,
to.
I like the way you do it now, because he is a visionary, and at first I didn't understand. It took us hiring somebody to come in to our company and kind of tell us our roles as a company and how
Right.
to make this work, because we did grow really fast. And so we actually hired somebody to kind of tell us about this. And he's the one that came up and said, hey, you're a visionary, and, you know, there's always an integrator. Then we figured out, oh, I'm the integrator and you're the visionary. But it took another person
It always
talking,
does. Usually
bringing
does.
it up, talking to us. We couldn't figure it out ourselves, but after he did, I'm like, well, that was simple. Why didn't we get that? What the hell's wrong with
Break
us? We
it
didn't get
down.
that. We can run this business, but we can't. Yeah. So he is the visionary. But now I think you do better. I buy into it more because I think you do better explaining it to me.
Yeah.
Before you just like, this is what we're doing. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are we? I'm like running behind you. Now you'll come to me and say, hey, I have this ideal. This is what we're doing. Let me just hear me out. And then you explain it to me and you paint a better picture for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Somebody to work on
and
for
you
sure.
also give me now, and you didn't used to do that, you'll say, remember when this person did this and this? I'm like, yep, you're right. And so you kind of give me examples of other people that have done it or things that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand it more. Before, I think the reason why before you didn't share it as much is you've always owned your own business by yourself. You know, you didn't have another spouse there that was actually doing that business with you. So you didn't have to answer to anybody, and you didn't have to, like, get anybody else's approval.
Yeah, but we've
I
done this
feel
for
like
over a
that.
decade, though.
I know
You know,
that.
so it's not
But-
like for just 2 months ago.
No, that's true. But we've gotten better because now, and maybe you just have learned, this is how I get her to agree with me. I'm just going
I pick my battles. Being a man, I definitely know how to pick my battles. You know, to
Yeah.
where the ones that's the most that she feels she wants, and then go ahead, no problem at all. Yep, you can have this one, but
The things
this is the
you're
one I
serious
want.
about,
This is
though.
the one I want down the road. So therefore, you can have these little bitty things, but I'm getting the big one.
Yeah. The things you're
getting a
really
big one.
serious about, I'm like, okay. But, you know, I think you're great at that now. You come to me and you go, hey, this is my deal. What do you think? And I got this big, and usually you've thought it through a lot more. Like before, the minute you think, you're like, hey, we do this, and you didn't have all the, you didn't like lay it out.
Oh,
for
sure,
me like a,
sure.
You know, like we're going to battle. Here's what we're doing.
Right. But I mean,
Now
it takes,
you have a whole thing.
It takes a team of people to get things done.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's something we're still working on, is building that foundation of
Yeah.
of the inner, you know, basically inside the office of the foundation of people to help handle
culture.
our workload,
Yeah.
our vendors, subs, employees, to handle all that.
And that's the vision. Earl's seen that way ahead of me. I was like, I'm going to do everything. I can do it. And
She wants to do a one-man show. I can run this whole office by myself. No, and I
don't want
appreciate
to.
that. I appreciate the gumption of that. But no, you
I don't wanna do that no
You
more,
can't run
that's what you
70
know.
guys. You can't run. No.
I just
Can't
want you
do
to know
all
I don't
that.
have that desire anymore. It's worn me down now.
It's like when
I
you
have
get
to
pissed
do it.
off. That's when you want to start delegating things out. That's it. I'm done doing this.
I'm done doing
tired
it. I'm
of
not going to
this.
do it anymore.
Even though
Yeah.
we've been asking, so that's that's how to get things done. Cost
Yeah.
and value, all that.
So where do
Extra
you
times to
think,
work.
how do you think, because me and you both, we do approach our people differently. Mm-hmm. And we kind of have this thing where Earl handles the stuff out in the field and the guys and the hiring of the contractors. Now, I know you don't think, but I have certain
I'll handle the hiring of the
remodels.
contractors.
You do handle a lot out in the field, all of our guys.
No, you kind of handle. No,
Most of
you
the
handle
time, you
yours.
think?
No, oh yes.
I handle my properties. You handle yours.
Yeah, then you handle
Yeah.
others as well.
And then I handle the.
Then you handle others
I try
as
not
well.
to handle your people.
Oh yeah. We'll walk into a
And I-
house
and I
and you
kinda
want to show
control
me
the
30
office.
things, and today's our first day. We're still demoing. Hey baby, can I show you some over here? Hey, can you just over here?
I
What's
wanna
that going to be
make
over there? What we doing over here?
I'm very detailed. wanna
I
make
get
sure we
it,
don't
but
miss it.
it's not your time yet.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm getting
So,
better. I did great
but
at
you
the
like
last
to.
properties.
Yes, you got
We
better.
took our staff out and walked a bunch of units that were remodeling.
But
'cause
as far
we
as
want them to see what
like
we
how
do.
the guys, how they, with me, I'm definitely I'm the nicer one. I'm a hey brother, how's it going,
Hey,
bro?
bro.
That kind of stuff. I'm that guy. I let them know, hey, when I'm having fun, when I'm yelling and being aggravating, that's when things are good. But when I get quiet, that's when we got issues.
Yeah.
Cause I want everybody to have a good time. When you're working, and things we do for the most part, it ain't like we're pouring concrete all day in the sun, not laying brick, not framing houses, being roofers. But there's times it could be a little crazy and irritable to deal with. But if you have fun with it, at least it makes it better.
Yeah.
Makes it easier. Just get along with the day, having fun with it. So that's what I try to do. Laura will come in real quick. I don't give a damn what happened over here. This is what this is about right
put
here.
the
What
hammer down.
and what the F is that right there? I don't give a F what this is right here.
I don't think I'm that bad.
You were there day over there on
That was
Cox
really
Street.
bad. That was
because
very aggravating.
guys doing some things they weren't supposed to do. I agree.
I was very aggravated, yes.
Yeah, and that's where
But you know what I've been told? So some of our guys, we have some guys who've been with us for quite a while now, that I give them, or they understand. I'm very detailed with them, and they like that because they understand what I'm wanting them to do, but that they know, and I do know, because I'll ask the guys, because I do joke around with them too. I'm not like all dead, I'm like, hey, how's it going? I joke around, but they know that when I'm upset, I'm really upset,
Yeah.
and they take me very serious, and they're like, you're right. You want it's your business. You want it done a certain way. And my thing is because of I will not. And I think this is where when I get frustrated, is, I'm not going to charge my client for stuff I did not do. I am not going to say we did something we didn't do, and the guys want to take shortcuts sometimes. And I'm like,
Right.
what are we doing this for? They
Sure.
know, like for instance, putting new blinds in. And they want to use all the old brackets. I'm like, but we're charging them for an entire new blind. So why did we not take down the brackets and put the brackets up? If we're charging I'm not going to build them for a brand new blind. And then later on, they're going, are these the old painted brackets from the old? They don't even fit the blind right. And so my thing is integrity and cleaning up the job sites and and if they break something, just be honest and tell me. I'm not going to
Yeah.
charge you unless you continue to keep breaking this item when you're installing it or something.
right. Oh sure. I mean, part of the interview system we get to as well as it's brought up. I mean, the integrity
that-
part of, hey, I don't care what job we're working on.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's up
We're
here.
both on the same on that.
multi-million-dollar houses or in Section 8 stuff.
Yeah.
You still do the job with the same integrity. Yes, the material's going to be different. So yes, you have different outlooks, but you still do the job right. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Do the
So
job right.
I think with our people in the field, because a lot of the guys, they love working for both of us. They just know you're a certain way and I'm a certain way, and they know when I walk in, I'm looking, oh crap, she's here with the blue tape. She's gonna blue tape my stuff, and I'll go start tagging stuff that I think needs to be better or
Right.
needs
Because
to-
you're definitely more detailed now, so that's why I
I'm
usually at the
for
end
detail,
to
yeah.
put you in there to take care of that stuff.
I think
you know?
I think that's a woman thing. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. I'm just saying a lot of the girls that work for me, they go in and they see stuff differently
Sure.
than the guys do.
Right.
So because my guys that walk properties will look at their pictures. Why didn't you? Oh, I didn't even notice that. But I noticed that the girls that have walk properties, they
Yeah.
see more of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, because when you say,
I think
yeah, my
that's-
husband's in there cleaning, that bothers me. 'Cause I'm like, why is your husband cleaning? And I feel I'm a very clean person in my house. I want my stuff picked
Oh, yeah.
up. I do. But
He is.
I'm not the one going to be in there scrubbing the toilet, doing the shower, doing,
Yeah.
cleaning the oven. That ain't happening.
So do you
know?
think? So tell me, like, how do you feel the office staff is with both of us? This is kind of funny on this one because
I'm sure I aggravate them. They get tired of talking to me because I just want it done to the point. Let's get on down the road. And they're like, well, I'm still doing this.
yeah,
So back to details on some things.
I think
I don't like being asked 10 times a day on the same thing. That happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
I've already put it in our group text. I've already sent this. I've actually wrote it out. And then I still get, hey, over there on First Street, did
But we do
you
have some new
say,
people learning
did
some
you
stuff.
say, I was like, oh my God, it's just right there. I mean, I'll screenshot the text, send it back in. That's where I said it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we kind of have this little thing because I run the office. So
tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know.
I hire the office staff and I run the office. Except for you've been kind of hiring our material runners lately, because I kind of gave that to you. I was
sure.
like, okay, I'm not.
Well, the
gonna-
office staff is your
Yeah.
deal.
So I run the office staff and stuff, but we will. It's kind of funny because we have this thing. Earl is. We joke about it in the office that he's on a no spending. So he doesn't
I'm not
get
allowed.
to spend money.
I don't get checks or nothing around here.
He
I'm not allowed to
doesn't
spend
get
money.
to spend money for anything. And so he'll come in and he'll ask for a check. And then they say, hey, Earl's asking for the check for this. Is it okay to give it to him? And I think it was kind of funny because one day you came in, Charity looked at you and you said, I need a check for such and such. And she looked at you and she goes, but it's not payroll check. Yeah, I know. I just need to take it. And she goes, okay, hang on. And then she calls me right in front of him and he goes, are you serious? Am I not an owner of this company too? And she goes, I understand, but you're not over financing, accounting, and bookkeeping. And I have down that you're on a no spending. And we kind of joke about it because you would get a check and then I'd be like, I didn't know we paid that person. I'm like, oh yeah, because you'd forget to tell me. And I'm like, Earl, we have a system for a reason. And I'm like, so then we started. I said, you said, yep, you're right. We're gonna start creating systems, and we'll do it different because you're like, am I chopped liver? Do I even matter around here? And it's kind of, but now we kind of laugh about it.
Sure.
And the girls kind of play with you more on
That's
it.
part of it now. I do the same thing.
Because now you're just
You
like,
can call her first.
you can call her
Go
first,
let
but
her
she
know.
said I could have this check.
I've already, got approval.
I think now you come to me and you're like, hey, is it okay if I pick up this check to take to the Granite people? And I'm like, that's fine.
Just trying to pay bills, trying to get things done.
We have to pay our people.
That's how it keeps rolling. That's how it keeps
I'm
rolling.
like, we have a system. Yeah. I think
So
the
how
biggest,
how do you feel people view you out in the field?
I'm the harder one. Mm-hmm. I'm the one that, I don't think it's like, I'm not going to use the word hard ass. I'm going to say the word hard, but I don't think that, I think they know that when I show up, that their stuff's got to be right because they're going to hear about it if it isn't. And I'm not mean about it. I'm just like, guys, I'm literally walking on top of brand new material. Why is it not in a pilot? Because I
talk to them in a
want the job
joking
size
way,
kept up a little
in a
bit.
jokingly way the first time or two. Then after that,
Yeah.
then I'm quiet. I come in. Then I start cussing
Because
or something. Then
we
that
do
thing's changed.
vendor meetings.
Yeah.
We do bring our vendors in, and we do go over that with them when we hire them. And we got a contractor's handbook that we give them that has all the things. Don't leave the property with your keys. Don't leave the property unsecure. And it's the little things that are like, I show up and the keys are gone and all the windows are open and I have $3,000 worth of appliances sitting in the kitchen. That's the stuff that makes me upset because I'm like, okay, we how long have they been with us? They have a handbook. We go over that handbook in it. So those are the kind of things that I'm just like, and I think, so here's one of the reasons why, and I brought this up to Earl a few times over the years, is that the reason I think we do business differently. You owned $1 million business that you ran, that you built. You know, your dad was a framer and you built your own framing. You had 8 framing crews and you've done a lot of stuff and you ran your business. And I've had other businesses before you, heat and air company and stuff like that. And I think one of the reasons why we kind of view it a little bit differently is you've always worked for yourself. I think you had one job like in the oil field. Like what was it you did? It was.
I worked a week in the oil field when I was I was still 17 years old. But I worked 1 week.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And that was it. You've always worked for yourself.
Yeah.
And so I started at Dairy Queen like I was 12, and I was assistant manager by the time I was 17. And then I ran restaurants, and I became a manager for Hooters, and I was manager for Brahms, and then I managed apartment complexes. So every job I ever had, I was immediately, within a few months, put into the management. Mm-hmm. And so I learned how each different type, every business does things a little bit different. There's different operation manuals. There's different things they do. But I got to learn a little bit from different companies. I got to learn a little bit how Hooters does their inventory and how they do their cash flow and their budgeting and their marketing. And then I got to learn how Brahms did. I learned how different businesses did it. So I took kind of a little piece of each business that I've ran for. And let me tell you, it's different. I'm in control of our money. It's a different thing than someone else hands you $1 million business and you better not lose their money. Their money, you're not going to have a job, you know? And so I had to budget other people's money. I had to make sure their inventory, we wasn't losing inventory, that there wasn't theft, that their property was secure, that we didn't go over on payroll. I wasn't wasting hours by people working. And so I think the detail in that experience helped me. I know everybody, I think it helped me because I understood what it took to build, what it took for that person to build that business. And I got to learn kind of hands-on. It's kind of like going to school. I didn't do a lot of business classes. I've done, online classes, QuickBooks, different software, stuff like that. But you guys, I dropped out of school in 10th grade. Dropped out of school as a sophomore. I went and got my GED. I got married at 16 years old, had my daughter at 17. I matured. I started my first job at 12, was assistant manager before I was ever 17 years old, just turned 17. And I think I grew up very quick. And so I didn't go to college so I think all mine was kind of like out in the field learning.
Yeah.
Hands-on in the trenches with different companies, learning how they did it. And so I brought all that different experience with me through all the years to what we're doing.
Right.
And so I'm more of the analytical one. I feel like more the one that looks at the numbers, and if the numbers don't make sense, I'm like, okay, how do we get this number? I don't understand. I have to understand the numbers,
Yeah.
I think. And I think it's because I've had to control other people's money and their assets and their stuff, so I understood it. Where you had your business for so long, and then you've always worked for yourself, so you didn't really have anything to go by. You just had your own personal experience to go by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's why, and you did really well at it. You had one of the biggest framing companies, so you did great with it. But I think that's how come we see things differently, because I was always had to be responsible over other people's stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think I'm more of the numbers. Like, okay, I don't make, because you'll tell me things. I'm like, how do we get that number? And I
Right.
have to see it.
No,
more.
because of your past other jobs you've had, managing, restaurants and apartments and stuff. That's why the handbook we have and some of the things we do for training and stuff is because of those things.
Yeah,
From
I
what
learned
you
them.
what you
Yeah.
brought, because
Yeah.
and then we're still looking for things, but yeah,
Yeah.
because you brought those things.
Yeah.
So that's where. But we still argue. We still have our moments where we definitely get after it and talk about things. But it's understanding the roles of the business and staying in our lane.
I'm getting better at that.
Trying to, okay, well, you said you want to take this on, so therefore, okay, that's your job now. That's what you're under that.
Yeah.
You take care of that, okay? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take care of this. So it's definitely
It's quick because I'll say, no, I got it. And then I'll come to you like, no. You told me you were handling it. Now you handle it. And then I get mad at you and I'm like, fine, you're not helping me.
That's happened a couple times the last couple of months on some properties where I'm taking it. I got this. Okay. Then next
And then
thing you
I take it
know,
over.
I'm wrong. Piss on her. That's it. I'm out. It's back on you. And so.
Yeah. I'm working on that. I'm like, okay, I did say I would do it. I can't give it back. I already took it.
But you did. But you
I
did.
did it.
But you did. But you did.
I'm still work in progress. Yeah.
So, and the biggest
So-
thing for us being, partners, owners stuff in a business is knowing that what we try to do is, it is the business part. It ain't nothing personal.
Yeah.
Because most everything we do argue about usually,
We don't take it home.
it's about business. It ain't about personal. It ain't
Yeah.
about the heck you do, yesterday
Yeah.
afternoon. No, it's everything usually is disagreements on the business.
And we do try to leave it at work. We don't try to take it home with us. I don't think we try really not to talk about this at home at night. Usually you'll watch sports. You'll go
And sometimes, well, yes, I
been
watch
working
sports
better
stuff. You
at
watch
that,
movies,
yeah.
but sometimes that's the problem is because this is all we do together. Pretty much, it's hard to talk about other things because what you do
We're
today?
building an empire
What you do
together.
today? How's your day? How's your day at work, honey? Well, you're sitting right there beside me the last 17 hours. So,
Not really.
but I was.
You're out in the field.
But I was. But anyway, so it's definitely harder. So we have to be a little more creative on other things to talk about with that to understand, because being around each other.
Yeah.
So, and that's the biggest key is for that is like, hey, understand it is business. It ain't personal.
Yep.
It's a business deal. Each person has their role in the business, just like they do in their marriage. And try to go with that and understand that.
I think that is really like we follow Grant and Elena Cardone, and I think one of the things that I resonated with when she told me is that their end goal, she goes about her stuff differently, he goes about his stuff differently, but they're still going towards the same goal.
Right.
And I think as long as we keep that, we're like, hey, I know that I want to do that different than what you want to do it, but our end goal is still the same. We still are going towards the same direction. Now, if you had a whole different goal and you're going one way and I'm going one way, I don't think it would work.
Right.
It would be like, what are we doing?
Well, 'cause I popped off one time that if she ever quits once out of this thing with me, then she might as well get divorced. 'Cause it's, you know,
Then I'm out.
you know,
So I'm
like,
forced into running
yeah.
this business with him, guys.
'Cause that's part of the
He
reason I'm
just said
doing
it.
this is because of her. So therefore, you know, that right there. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no, oh no.
So
if
it's
you're
just
in,
like
it's like
a-
mafia thing. If you're in, you're in. You're out, then you're going to be out.
Is it almost like arranged marriage?
I'll-
I got you because you run a business.
We'll Yellowstone on you. I'll take you to the train station. So
I'm not going to the train station.
so that stuff right there. But no, the guys definitely handle us different. Office staff. I mean, you handle all the office.
Yeah.
You know, that's not my place at all.
Yeah.
You handle the ladies, you cleaners, all that. That's you take care of that. For the most part.
I think that's why they.
I mean, I talk to them occasionally just for a second, but that's it.
Yeah.
So
No, we do weekly meetings with them about twice a week. We gather together, all of us, you, me, and we go over work and
yeah,
the remodels and where we're at on them and stuff like that. And we kind of go around the table, each of us, and
Right.
talk about that. So
our foundation needs to get a little bigger though. Need some more, project managers, material runners.
you had to stretch out for that, huh?
Yeah, it's just
Is it
some things
fun?
aggravating. You find things out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Things are great on a Friday. Come Monday, man, it's amazing how things happen. People forget all about their life. It's amazing. Where oh shoot, yeah, I got to work on Monday.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Let's just not go back to work at all. Let's just not. Let's just not.
We're always hiring.
Always.
Always hiring.
Always
Yep.
hiring, because you never know when you're going to find someone that is okay in this day and age. Somebody who wants to work,
Yeah.
okay, who wants to be part
Shows
of
up.
something. So if you find that, you snatch them up no matter what, and you find a spot to put them in. Maybe they're not good at this, but they can do this over here a whole lot better.
Everybody has
and
a
you
strong-
find a spot for them because this day and age, it's what it's about. Because that's why it's almost like a revolving door with our contractors.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them really care, and other ones honestly could not.
You really do
They're
hire
trying
10
to
and
get.
one
They're trying to
big
get
one.
one paycheck and going down the road, and they don't listen to anything because by the time they go through the application process and the background and they talk to the girls and then through the interview, they've heard the same thing about 3 or 4 times. And then when they do contracts and handbook and all that, there it is again. So it's amazing
It's a whole
when
nother
down
podcast
at work,
again.
it's like going, what in the world?
Yeah.
So,
But
it's
yeah.
not really about us though.
So yeah, we'll talk about that in another. We'll talk about that in another podcast. But but our end game
Yes.
is the same.
Yeah,
With the
that's,
same
that's
things,
what
we've
you said. It's
done
really true. Having the goals, it's really good because people sometimes, yes, we want to go different ways about it, but as a
As
team,
long as it gets the same result, and I'm not near as nitpicky as I used
as
to
a
be.
team and stuff, you have the same goals. You'll be able to achieve those things because yeah, you got small little bumps and stuff down the road, but you're still fighting for the same thing, and you got to keep that in mind too. Just because tonight didn't go right or today, whatever,
Yeah.
that's a minor thing. In like a lot of
Our
times,
vision's bigger.
if it don't matter in 5 minutes or whatever, it wasn't matter at all. It don't matter anything.
Yeah.
But the end goal, that's what's mattering 15, 10 years down the road. So,
Mm-hmm.
any other thing you want to add to that? Before we hang
I
this
think you
sucker
covered
up?
it. I think it's good.
You kind of covered
Just
it.
know I love you.
Oh, I love you too, baby. I love you too. So, but please, hey, follow, like, share, definitely comment so we
Absolutely.
can get more just integrated with you people and help a little more and go out and have the courage to conquer the life you want to live.
Awesome.